Hello, grade 12. So we're back. We're going to continue with this page 95, that star program that we did yesterday. It's now Friday. So we open the program and we open the star, and as I said, the unit star. And like I said before, if you haven't caught up, then go and get the program from the memo files folder, and then you can continue, but get the one from dated the 20th of May, because it's no point getting the answers all the time. You have to do it yourself and then you learn. But if you just look at the answers, it's not going to help you much at all. So you're watching to see how to do it, and then you can try and do it by yourself. Okay, right, the instantiate object button in the main program. Here's the main program. There's the unit that we wrote yesterday, and this is the main program. We have a rich edit, we have a combo box, and we have an instantiate object, and then we have a picture for an image, and that should be fun. So we got to go and extract the name of the star from the selected combo box. Okay, so in order to instantiate an object, you have to go and get your name from the combo box, and then we're going to look for the name of that star in the text file. So let's first go get the name, S star string, and we'll get it from the combo box, and the combo box is named CBX star. I'll use .text property. That's also good. Also, if you don't want to use that, you can use items, square brackets, CBX star dot item index. And that's good to know to use that, because you use this method to get items from a list box, from the radio group box. It's the same method. If you want to get the string, or the string that's that you chose, that the person chose in the combo box, or the radio group box, or the list box. So in the list box, if you use a list box, then you have to use this method, dot items and then dot item index in square brackets. For a combo box, you can get away with a dot text. Now we extract the name of the star, use a loop, and search in the text file for the name of the selected star, and the loop must stop when the name of the star has been found. Yeah. So we're going to go and navigate through a text file. So we need a text file variable, tfile text file, and sline string. And of course we're going to go and see if the file exists. If not, file exists, and the name of the text file is called, drum roll, we're in question 3. It is star data dot txt, and we better make sure that if there's capitals in that name, capital letters, you have to use them. Capital S and a capital D. If it doesn't, then let's exit. Show message, no file, something to that effect, and application dot terminate, only because it won't be useful if we don't have the text file here in this case. Right, now so we're going to use a loop to search for the text file. We're going to get a Boolean flag, be found, Boolean. Okay, and we'll set be found to false. And then you'll say, wow, okay, well, we have to get to the start of the text file, don't we? So in order to get into a text file, you need the sound file statement, which I forgot, and I must put that in. And then you reset tfile, and then while we're not at the end of tfile, while not end of file, tfile, but we're going to use an and while bfound equals false, then. So this is making sure that the loop will stop reading from the text file. And by the way, in this case, that reset is very important. Start at the beginning. Okay, so we're going to read a line, tfile into sline. Now let's go and examine our text file carefully. Star data. There's a star. So as soon as we find a star, we're going to stop reading, and when we stop reading, that point is going to be on the line following after it, and then there'll be 3 lines that we're going to read. So that will be interesting. Hey, we can say if sline equals S star, then begin and end. We're going to say that bfound is true, equals true. Okay. Wonder, do we have to do anything else? Well, the thing is that we are going to read from that text file still after that, because we're going to read those other things. If the name has been found, we're going to instantiate a star object, and using that the variable has been declared globally as part of the given code. Okay, right, we've got that. We can see that we find it just now. Test whether the star is navigational, and so on. If the star has been found, we're going to do that. Okay. And if the star has not been found, the text file display a message to indicate the star has not been found. Now, where are we going to get our other components? Instantiate star using the variable that has been declared. Okay, fine. And test whether it's navigational. Now, the thing is, they don't tell us where we're going to get the other items from. You know, the other things that we need, like the magnitude, distance, constellation, you know, magnitude, distance, and constellation. Obviously, they're in the text file. Magnitude, I'm assuming magnitude is that, because it's a real number. Distance and constellation, well, obviously we're going to have to read those 3 lines, you know. So let's go and do that. We're going to get some variables here. S magnitude, S distance, S const. These are strings that we're reading. So S mag read line. So we're going to read the next 3 lines. S mag from T file into S mag. I think that's the what was the real. First, we'll figure out now the distance is integer, magnitude is real. So if we look at our text file, so you see, if the file is this Mimosa, I like that name. If the file is Mimosa, then that would be the magnitude. The magnitude is the real number. The distance is an integer, and that is the constellation. So we're going to read into smag first, because there's a real number. Because remember, when you read that first one and we see a match, then the point is going to be there. So we do say read ln, then the point is there, read ln, point is there, read ln, and that's all we're going to do, read 3 times. First we read into smag, then we're going to read from the text file and put that string into sdist, that I put there, see, sdist. Then I'm going to read ln from T file and put that into sconst, and these are strings that are declared here just to hold them. Okay, and here at the end of this loop, bfound will be true. Okay, so the loop's not going to stop yet. This is going to happen. Then the process is going to go all the way and say, oh, bfound is true, so the loop will stop, and the pointer will be, you know, after the pointer will be over here. So we're going to then go and instantiate our object with those things, but we mustn't forget that smag and sdist are supposed to be reals and integers. So we must go and get an rmag colon real and idist colon integer variables. I have to get them. And we say rmag equals string to float smag and idist equals string to int sdist. Of course sconst is a string, we can keep that. Right, now we're going to do instantiating our object. Where's the object? Oh, look at that, guys, an array of stars. Anyway, I haven't actually, yeah, object star, there it is, obj star x. Obj star x colon equals t stars. What's the class name? T stars, T star. This thing, yeah, it's T star. Okay, we say objx equals T star stars, or oh, is it stars? Oh gosh. T star dot create. And there we're going to have our parameter list. So first of all, the name of the star, which was one we chose as S star over there. So let's go S star, comma. The magnitudes are rmag, just happens to be the same name. Idist just happens to be the same name. And then sconst also just happens to be the same name. So in this case, I basically did make these variables the same name as the parameters of my create, but that's fine. Right, so we created it, instantiated the object, in other words, test whether the star is navigational using navigation stars, using the ARRA navigations array, and set the value of it. Oh, so we're going to go through all the that array of navigational stars that's sitting over here. A navigation stars. We'd go through each one and see if the star is in there. Oh my word. Okay, people. So that's 58. We're going to go through each one and see if it's in there. So I'm going to have an I count integer. Why? Because I'm using a while loop to do that. While I count is less than or equal to 58 and be found equals false, do. I have to loop, I've got to go loop through that whole array of text file, of stars, sorry. And I don't want to, what if the star is the first one? So if AR navigate, get the name of the array, if A navigation stars equals, or if we can say if S star, if, well, S star equals A navigation star, then begin be found equals true. Now they said to test it against the array. Test whether the star's navigational star using that array and set the value for the navigational status accordingly. Right. There's no test for navigational. We're only going to be setting the navigational status. We're going to use our say be found equals true inside this loop, but we have to we've got to set our count equal to something. Hey, our count equal to 0. We're going to start at box number 1, so we better increment our count here. So we've created our star. We're just going to go and check if the star, S star, the one that we got from the combo box, if it's navigational. Okay. If it's in the set of equal to navigation stars, box number R count. I forgot that. We're dealing with A navigation stars is an array of stars. So therefore our count is an account of them must go from 1 to 58. When it reaches 58, Do we want to increment our counter over here, because then it'll be 59? No, we don't. So there we go, less than. So we said b found equal to true. So over here we're going to say if b found equals true, after the loop happens, if b found equals true, then we're going to go and use our object obj, our object star x dot set navigation status, and we put in b found. But we're just going to do that. We don't have to say if b found is true, we just set it, because b found will either be false or will be true. Have we set b found to false beforehand? No, so we're saying using the same Boolean variable, doesn't matter. I'm setting b found to false here before I go into this loop. So because I'm giving it a value, it doesn't matter if I'm using the same Boolean variable that I used over here. So I'm actually giving it a value. I'm initializing it there, and I'm initializing that there. So whatever b found is, true or false, we're sending it off to our set navigational status, which is a procedure in our for our object, which belongs to the class T star. Okay, now moving on. We didn't worry about whether the name's not been found in the text file. Yeah, so well, that's another thing, eh? If the name of star has been found in the text file, and if it's not been found in the text file, basically we're just going to show a message, you know, didn't find the text file, the name. Yeah, so over here we're only going to do this if b found is true. So therefore we should actually get another Boolean variable for the other one, bf. For this one we better get another variable, Boolean variable. We can't use the same Boolean variable, because guess what we're going to do here? It's just not safe. So bf is the other Boolean variable, because over here we're going to say if b found, after searching for the text file, is true, then we're going to do all of this, begin and end. A whole lot of things, like up to there. See? And where's this b found coming from that we're worrying about? Well, if b found is true, we're going to do the rest, else we will show a message that we didn't find the star. So here is the b found that is going to be set to either true or false in the text file. We set it to false, we go and look for the text, for the item in the text file. If we find it, then we do all the reading. If we don't find it, b found will stay false. The pointer will go all the way to the end of the text file, nothing will happen. So b found equals true, then we're going to do all of this. Otherwise, we're going to show a message that star was not found. End of story. Okay, so that's quite a complex little thing. Now, the display button. When the display button is clicked, display the details of the star in the rich edit, RED, using the toString method. Yay! So, display, there it is. And we're going to use the object name, which is global, obj star x. We can, because we've already created it in the onCreate event. Remember using the on, where did we create it? Over here. After we found the star, we did obj star dot create. See? So obj star dot toString, but dot toString is a function, and we can't do that. We have to say rich edit or something dot lines dot add, which is we're displaying in the RED description. Okay, RED description dot lines dot add open brackets, write the object name dot, and then toString comes up, and then guess what? That string that we created yesterday, a big long string is going to be displayed in the rich edit. That should be fun. Right, next thing. Display button. But as well as that, we're going to load the image of the constellation that the star belongs to. The file name of the image to be displayed is the name of the constellation that the star belongs to. All image files have the extension .jpg. How are we going to get the name of the constellation in our display button? Well, guess what? It's all saved over here. F constellation. So we have a method called get constellation, haven't we? There it is, function get constellation. Yeah. So we're going to build our string for our picture, spic, and we're going to say spic equals. Now the object is called, such a funny name, obj star x. Obj star x. Obj star x dot get constellation. Why can I do it there? Because get constellation is a function. I'm going to join that to a .jpg. And then we're going to load that spic into this image component img star dot picture dot load from file open brackets spic. Yay. Next thing is to the brightness and visibility of the stars depend on the magnitude, distance from Earth. Okay, when visibility button is clicked, call the relevant method to display the name and the visibility of the star as a message. So, right, so when the visibility button is clicked, we're going to show message the name of the star. How do we get the name of the star? We've got a get name function right there in our star unit, you know, and it's a string. You know, this T star unit, we've got a get star function. So we can say obj star x star x dot get name. Where's get name? There it is. Get name. Join that to space. Join that to obj star x dot determine visibility, which is a string. There we go. So this function and that function were all written in this other unit over here. Get, we're not setting that, we are determine visibility. Remember, determine visibility returns a string. That big long procedure that function that we wrote. So it all comes together, and now we're going to go and run the program and see if anything works or not. So that should be fun. Right, duplicate, 8. Yeah, you know, because I've got numbers there. Actually, we need to double check those numbers. Fewer than 80. Okay, so that's got to go to 79, and this must go from 80 to 900. There we go. See, in the case, you can't have a number there and a number there that's the same. Right, next one. Okay, RED description spelled wrong. Okay, still spelled wrong. What's the name of my rich edit? There it is. RED. It's RED display, for crying out. Display. Why do they talk about description here in this question? Yeah, I did say RED description. Okay, there's a misprint. Now moving on. Right, why we do not want to have if while not in the file T file and B found equals false, do. Stupid me. Do. Silly. Okay, colon equals. I want to see some stars. Mimosa, instantiate object, display. Okay, the picture file. Run program, reset. It didn't display anything in the rich edit. Thought it was going to. Right, let's go and see what the name of these pictures are. Oh, .bmp, not JPG. I wish I could have seen the names. BMP. Let's hope that format allows us to display it, to put it into that picture. Instantiate object, display, visibility. Hardly visible to the naked eye. But now, of course, there's a problem here because our rich edit didn't display anything, so we have to figure out why. Okay, so let's go to it. If not file exists, okay, B found is false. Assign file reset. While not in a file, B found equals false. We know that all of this was done, which is fine. Okay, and here we've got if B found equals true, then we're doing all of this, else we do that. It did create the stars, it did. The RED display thing did not work. Yeah, it was RED display that didn't work. That's a show message. Where did we have to display in the rich edit? Oh, there it is. The toString. Okay. The picture got from the file. That was no problem, but the toString did not display. I wonder. Anyway, I think actually you guys can fix that, because this video is going on too long and you won't have time to fix it. Although you're probably going to say, but ma'am, visible, true, enabled is true, that's all fine. The toString method did not return. Let's have a look at our toString sline. Oh, a classic mistake, people, classic. Result equals sline. Forgot to add my result equals. Now this is, I'm so glad I made this mistake, because seriously people, it's a common mistake. See, I've built my sline over here in my toString function, and it's a function, so when you write a function you have to say result equals something, otherwise all that code is for nothing. So here we go. So let's go and see what it looks like. Mimosa and instantiate object, display, yay, here it is. Oh, that mimosa is a passive star. Is not on the right line here, so we need to fix that. Okay, plus #9 plus #13 plus. So the #13s are going to put that onto a new line. Right, so let's see if you can do that program by yourself after watching this.